Now by the medical staff, the Barlow Bruins.
77 Mitchell for the Bruins.
So we'll check and see how he is doing as we wind down here in a game that has been so tightly contested all the way. Both teams just pounding away at each other. As we mentioned, it's like two big prize fighters. We'll see the finish of this right after this.
I'm Bob Hazelton. In 1977, I was a top heavyweight boxing contender, ranked number 12th in the world. Today, I'm a crippled in a wheelchair. Do you know why? Because I used anabolic steroids. Steroids will destroy you, maybe even kill you. Steroids are a dangerous drug, and they're not worth the risk.
A public service message from the American Chiropractic Association and your family doctor of chiropractic.
Back to live action now as while we were away, Mike Streb was sacked for about a 3 or 4 yard loss. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 now. Barlow's taken a timeout. So you can see the Gresham Gophers leading 29-21 with 2:05 to go here in the ballgame. We might mention that next week we will be over at Centennial High School, where the Central Catholic Rams will be playing the Centennial Eagles. Centennial, of course, playing tonight at with David Douglas. So I'm not sure exactly at this point where we are with regard to the Eagles, but the Eagles had the longest winning streak in the league coming into tonight's action. Here's Streb on the rollout to the right, and Hamlin comes up, misses a tackle, and Streb takes it down for the first down, and that may be it. I'll tell you what, if Kerry Lee was an outstanding performer in the first half, Mike Streb has been the player in the second half, coming in playing safety on defense, but doing a great job offensively of running the option, as Streb now is injured.
Hey, got his bell rung on that play.
Come out here, and Amelini comes up, misses it, and coming up is Oscar Wood that laid the shoulder into him.
Boy.
So we have a new quarterback in the game. That would be number 10, Ryan Williams, the quarterback now into the ball game.
I think Streb did a great job so far on that series of not handing off, just keep it in his hands so there wouldn't be a fumble.
And Williams just goes down to one knee as the Bruins, I'm not sure if they're handicapped and do not have any more timeouts, but the clock continues to run with 1:40 to go. 2nd down and 11 now, as when Williams went down to one knee, he lost 1 yard. Clock continues to run now. We'll see what the situation is. They are going to take it all the way down, I think, and probably let the clock run all the way out.
Bob Callison, pleased to meet you.
Williams brings him up now out of the power I set. Williams using all of the clock and takes the delay of game penalty as it's at 1:14.
Penalty infraction, delay of game against the Gophers.
So the Gophers using a little strategy here just to try to eat up clock. Their only opponent is AC right now is the clock itself.
That's right. Under no circumstances do they want to risk a fumble, and as we saw earlier in the game, there was a fumble on the snap between the quarterback and center. So they're trying to avoid they're trying to get as few snaps as possible left in this game.
Ryan Williams in at quarterback for the injured Mike Streb, but I feel in the second half Streb has to be the key guy. He has run that option to perfection, and that's really been the play, is that option, being able to get around the corner, and when they did finally start to cover the quarterback on the option, he did a good job of pitching, and they picked up big yardage.
I agree, although that fumble that Josh Butler got on was pretty big too. That was a huge one.
Right. Brian Williams goes down to one knee, and again the clock continues to run, but a timeout is now called by the Bruins. Bruins call a timeout.
Quarterback Williams drops to one knee.
So it will be 3rd down now. 3rd down and about 16 for the Gresham Gophers with 1:10 to go. So it appears as though that the Bruins will at least get their hands on the ball. What they can do with it, they may not have much time. They may only have a few seconds, but they probably will at least get their hands on the ball before the end of the game. And really, you have to commend Jack Footcraft and his group, his coaching staff, Larry Knudsen, all of the guys that are involved with that offense, especially here, using their heads actually, because they know that the clock is the only thing now that they have. If they can get that to run down, then they've got the ball game. Williams, the quarterback. Quick pitch to the outside. Running ball, number 20, that's Jerry Humphreys.
Number 20, Jerry Humphreys.
Jerry Humphreys turns it up and picks up about 6. As it appears as though Barlow will take their final timeout now.
We have a timeout again.
With 58 seconds to go, it'll be 4th down and 10 now. As the Gophers are put in a situation,
I don't imagine they'll go for a punt. You don't want to fumble in that situation. In the open field, somebody could pick it up, block it, whatever. I think they'll just run the ball, try to run the clock down a little bit more. And again, Barlow's still not going to have very good field position. The ball's on the 30 right now.
Right. Plus the fact they have no timeouts. This is their final timeout. They have no timeouts left. Deep in their own territory. Big hill to climb if they're going to do anything with it. As the Gophers now really in the driver's seat in terms of leading 29-21. This will be a huge win for the Gophers in this situation. It looked like they had the game pretty well in hand at the end of the first half. The Bruins have come back and just done a super job getting themselves back into the game. But again, the big plays have really been the turning point. And finally, that big fumble recovery by Josh Butler as Williams brings him up. Quick pitch to the outside. This is Edline. Edline driving and is taken down. So the Bruins now come out. The Bruins will line up quickly, I'm sure, with 51 seconds to go as the clock will be started once the ball is put in play. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bruins. 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Going back, this is Collins looking downfield. Collins throwing over the middle. Swart, the intended receiver, but it is short. So now the Bruins will be able to huddle with 44 seconds to go. The 2nd and 10 as the ball is marked at the 28-yard line.
2nd down and still 10 yards to go.
Keaton Collins, the sophomore, brings him out. Harris, the lone running back. They run slots both ways now. Back to pass to Collins. Collins looking downfield, has a man open downfield.
Good open field
taken
tackle.
Down and good open field tackle. 1st down. Number 11 on the reception. That is Tom Simpson.
Brian Betancourt on the tackle.
1st and 10 now. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. 38 seconds to go as the clock will be started after they move the chains for the 1st down. Again, a slot each way. Collins back to pass, looking downfield. Looking downfield, has a man open deep, throwing deep, and it's intercepted.
Brian Betancourt.
Betancourt with the interception. Betancourt still on his feet. Betancourt down the sideline, and Shannon Johnson able to tackle him and throw him out of bounds. Shannon Johnson has a little action on the sideline.
A little frustration on some of the Barlow players' part.
But Betancourt with a big interception. As Collins threw it as far as he could, but Betancourt was there playing center field with a big interception. So as the Bruins take over on the 49-yard line, the Gophers take over on the Bruins 49-yard line, it will be a big victory for the Gresham Gophers tonight as they will go on and they will, in all likelihood, Williams will just touch his knee down. And there's the last play of the ball game as the Gresham Gophers now begin to celebrate their 29-21 victory over the Barlow Bruins as the Gophers win their 2nd game now of this Young Mount Hood Conference season. 29-21, the Gresham Gophers defeating the Barlow Bruins. Kerry, I'm tired.
Oh yeah, this was a drainer, wasn't it?
Boy, I tell you,
it was excited all the way.
There was not a moment where you could relax because there was always a potential threat of the big play, and so many people came through. I tell you, Kerry Lee did a great job the first half. He gets injured. Mike Streb comes along and does a super job second half, running the offense, running the option. Humphreys steps in and does a good job. And, of course, you can't forget Gleason right there in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
And defensively, both defenses just playing a super job. And it was just the big plays. As you had mentioned in the pregame, it was the big plays that ended up making the difference.
Yeah, I think the defense for Gresham. Anthony Alvarez came off the bench and just had some outstanding plays. Josh Butler, the big fumble recovery when Barlow got the ball back. Just outstanding play, and play calling, both from the players, the bench. Well played all the way around.
Both coaching staffs are really to be commended. Jerry Williams and his staff from Barlow, and of course Jack Clitcraft and his staff from Gresham. I know the Bruins are probably disappointed, but it was a super, super game. Really more scoring than we had anticipated, but both teams just hammering away, pulling out their best punches, and there was no question that both these teams came to play tonight. I'll tell you, this is what high school football is all about. Good hitting, good clean ball game all the way, very, very few penalties. A couple of significant ones, however, on big plays by the Bruins that ended up hurting them. There was a long run by Shannon Johnson, another one on an inside play, and had those penalties not occurred, who knows what could have happened.
Right.
But the momentum at the end was with the Gresham Gophers, and the Gophers celebrating now down on the field as their faithful is out there, and of course the Barlow Bruin fans there supporting their players as they know that they gave a great effort tonight. Both these teams, I'll tell you what, these two teams, if they get to the playoffs as we anticipated at the beginning of the year, and I see no reason not to anticipate it for the remainder of the year, these two teams would represent the Mountain Conference extremely well in the playoffs down the road.
I agree. Last week we had the, I picked the Barlow line as the player of the game. This week I'm going to go with number 11 for Gresham, Mike Streb. He had such a great second half, keeping him in the ball game, leading this Gresham team. Absolutely outstanding.
Good job that time. Now, next week, as we mentioned, we will be over at Centennial High School where the Central Catholic Rams will be playing the Centennial Eagles in what really looks like it's going to be a great ball game. The Centennial Eagles, again, with a very, very fine ball club, ranked number 4 in the state going into tonight's action. And the Central Catholic Rams, after a big rebuilding year last year, really on a roll this year, playing very well, having 2 wins already this year. So we really look forward to that. Let's go down the sideline to Ron Peevold.
Here with the Gresham head football coach, Jack Flitcraft. A win is a win, but one against Barlow has to be a little extra special.
Yeah, a win is a win, and we take one at a time. We'll play anybody, and we appreciate the opportunity to play Barlow tonight.
What do you think the keys to the game were? Was it down in the trenches? Did you control the line of scrimmage?
No, we didn't control it, but it was hard fought. There was sparks every time somebody ran into the center, and it was just a fun game to watch. It's a pleasure just to be here watching the kids play hard.
Were you concerned after Kerry Lee came out of the game?
Yeah, but we've got some quality running backs behind them, and they worked hard, and they helped us out an awful lot, as you could see.
Would you rate this a big win, or is it just another win?
Well, it's a big win, but at this stage of my career, every win's a big win.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, back to you guys upstairs.
Okay, thanks, Ron. We're going to take a break now. We'll be back with some post-game information after this.
Every year, thousands of people are killed with a frying pan. Reduce your intake of high-fat fried foods and help reduce your risk of cancer and heart disease. For a free booklet on low-fat eating, call 1-800-EAT-LEAN.
As the fans slowly move away here at Gresham High School, we look at the scoreboard, and it's 29-21, and for the final score as the Gresham Gophers defeat the Barlow Bruins in a game that provided us with all the excitement that we could possibly hope for here at Gresham High School tonight. Ron, you were down on the sidelines, and the Gresham Gophers had to be super excited at the end of that ball game.
Yeah, I think this is as advertised, this game. We knew it was going to be a high-scoring game. We knew it was going to be a great game, and nobody is going home disappointed right now. The Gresham players, they were real excited, and I don't know if it was just because I was right underneath it, but the fans, they were so loud like they always are here, and that just made for a great game.
Well, we certainly felt it up in the press box. When those fans get going, I'll tell you what, things are shaking up there, and we definitely felt earthquake shakes up there tonight. So it was a hotly contested game, but a game that was so exciting. Both teams, Terry, defensively, it was one of those things where the defenses played well, but the big plays hurt both teams.
Yeah, I agree. I think Barlow came out a little flat in the first half and down 14-0, and then into a 17-7 at halftime. But they came out in that second half, man. They were ready to go. They were loose. Things were working for them. The momentum changed. But then the big plays, like you said, the big plays were the story of this game.
Well, we certainly couldn't ask for any more. And in terms of high school athletics, this is a situation where you have to just really sit back and look at high school athletics and say, hey, this is what it's all about. It's fun. These kids went out here, a hotly contested game, but a lot of class on both sides, not only in the players, but in the coaching staffs and the fans. Good hard hitting, but all clean all the way. And as we mentioned, very, very few penalties tonight. A couple that hurt Barlow, but nothing, that was bad or flagrant or anything like that. It was just a great, great ball game. Ron, the Barlow kids have to be somewhat disappointed, though, in not winning this one, but they still got a lot of the season left.
They got a lot of the season left, and they still have a lot of talent. They got Shannon Johnson, as I tried to say earlier. He was a little injured. He was out this week, most of practice. That's why he didn't play in the first quarter. But they got him, and they got Oscar Wood, and they got Todd Harris. So they got an arsenal of running backs, and you'll be hearing from them again during the season. And it's going to be a very competitive league. I think there's 3 teams in there that can go quite far in state.
Well, of course, the Barlow Bruins would be a great representative in the playoffs, and we anticipate the Gresham Gophers also being there for the playoffs. Terry, next week, Centennial High School, a team that's really on a roll. We don't know about the results tonight when they play David Douglas, but a team that has a good winning streak going. They won. They were undefeated last year in conference play. So what can we look for from the Eagles next year?
Well, they got a high-powered running game, a great quarterback, Jesse Brand. The good running backs. They're strong up front. They got experience. They know how to win. Whereas the team they're facing, this is kind of new for them. So I think we're going to see a good ball game. But again, I think Centennial does have an awful big arsenal to deal with.
Well, next week, as I mentioned, we will be at Centennial High School, where the Central Catholic Rams will be playing the Centennial Eagles. We look forward to being there. We look forward to having you with us next week. As our final score here tonight is Gresham Gophers 29, the Barlow Bruins 21. For Ron Peeble and Terry Halleck, I'm Jim Shealy, and we thank you for being with us, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Centennial High School.